Good morning, Steve here. And this morning we're going to set up a healing field for the planet, a healing field within the healing field for the planet. And so I'm just going to take you through the process of grounding and opening. So you may want to just state these words out loud. I connect to my deep self. Notice what happens when you do that. I connect to my higher self. I connect to my highest self. I ground myself to the healing center of the earth. I open myself to the healing power of the One. I choose to let go of anything no longer useful to me. I choose to work with the Hathors. And I choose to set up a healing field for the world. And I ask that all of our helpers and guides please be present. And I ask that we be placed in a field of protection while we do our work. I ask the higher self to take us through the portal of time to the event that would be of the highest good to release and integrate at this time. And I invite all souls affected by this event to return to the event, to release and integrate the energy of the event for themselves. And I ask that they be placed in a field of protection while they do their work. Upon arrival at the event, I ask the higher self to assist us to release and integrate all energies of the event, gently and easily, fully and completely, on all levels and through all space and time. While you're doing this, you might want to notice the area of your body or areas of your body that your attention is drawn to. Just notice the first area that you're drawn to. And notice what you feel there. Sometimes the areas that we're drawn to are the expansive areas, so we just notice a lot of spaciousness there. Sometimes the areas we're drawn to are the contracted area, and we may notice some tightness there. Oftentimes the area of contraction has to do with an unresolved event where the emotions reside. And so notice the contraction if you feel that. Notice the emotions if you feel them. And then choose to release these emotions so that you can integrate the event. once you have done that, notice if there's a change in the area that was contracted, the area that was possibly uncomfortable. Notice that energy being freed up in your body, noticing where it's going. Just watch it as it begins to move around. And then notice the next area of your body. Notice if it feels expansive or contracted. Notice where it feels expanded and where it feels contracted. And go inside the contracted area. And invite it into the expanded area. Notice if energy begins to move and where you feel it begin to move. Notice the next area that your attention is drawn to. Notice if it feels like an expanded area or it feels like a contracted area or both. If it feels contracted, follow it down into the core place of its contraction and then let it expand. Releasing and integrating the energy, watching where it goes, watching if the body wants to make any motions with that movement of energy. Just let it make the motions that it wants to make, and then notice the next area where your attention is drawn as that energy continues to move. And notice if there's an area of expansion and or an area of contraction. We're interested in both areas, the areas that the energy is expanded and the area that the energy is contracted. Because where the energy is contracted, there's energy held there. And if we open that energy up to the area of expansion, then that area can begin to move. That energy in that area can begin to move. And notice when that energy does begin to move, notice where it's moving. Notice if there's an area of the body that begins to move. The body actually begins to move. Notice that when that portion of the body begins to release its energy that it's held, for however long it's held that energy. Notice if you become aware of another area while that energy is moving. Now that energy in my body is continuing to move, So there's a certain rhythm to it. There's a certain kind of bouncing movement to the energy. And I'm just going to watch that energy as it moves. This is not the way your body needs to be doing it. It may be the way your body's doing it, but it's not necessary. I'm just describing an event that's happening for me that may be a possible event in your future where energy just begins to move and there's almost no stopping it. When the energy begins to move in this fashion, it just keeps moving and it frees itself up and it moves into other areas. Currently, I'm aware of a kind of a beach ball sized ball of energy directly out from my abdomen. Notice if you notice that in yourself as well, and if not, then I'm just going to speak the words to myself as to what to do with this ball of energy. So I'm bringing this ball of energy towards my abdomen. I'm drawing it towards me, and I'm drawing it into the inside of my body, into my deep self, and the energy is being held inside the area of the deep self. And it's released into the deep self. And energy begins to move up and down the spine. I can still feel an area of the throat that's continuing to release, and I feel an area of kind of expansion down around the area of the belly button. And I'm drawing that energy inside into the deep self, into the center of my being. And that area begins to move. More energy begins to move in my body. Seems to be an expansion of the energy around my abdomen. I'm feeling that energy in the back as well as in the front. The beach ball has gotten larger. And there's a motion taking place that seems to be directing the energy into the area of my kidneys, which are right behind and just at the bottom of the rib cage in the back. So I'm placing my hands over that area while I feel that area move. And there seems to be some light coming in through the crown chakra. And that light is making its way right down through the central channel. And it feels like that light is going directly into the kidneys. And then into the musculature of the lower back. And down into the pelvis. This golden light that's coming through the crown chakra. It's just filling up the upper part of the legs, going down to the knees, When it got to the knees, it opened up the chest. Then it goes down to the calves, the ankles, and the feet. And the grounding chakras open up at the bottom of the feet and further ground themselves to the healing center of the earth. And that golden energy is just filling up the body like the body's inflatable. And that golden light is just inflating the whole body field. And that golden light is going out through the arms to the hands, from the hands to the area around the head. And that golden light is just beginning to move through the body. Again, some very gentle, subtle motions taking place in the lower part of the back. And there's just a very gentle motion going from side to side in the lower back as that golden light penetrates. There's also a red light that appears to be coming up through the bottom of the feet into that lower part of the back, bringing some earth power into the physical form. That red color, that red power is rising up, seems to be going up to the area of the head. That golden light is going all the way down into the earth. There's a term in the Mayan language that was used by the Yucatec people, who I gather lived in the area of the Yucatan, current Yucatan, where there are a lot of the Mayan temples that are there. I have a colleague of mine. She has been a client, friend, and student of mine for numerous years. Now we're colleagues and we work on energy things together, and she happens to be in the Yucatan Peninsula. Currently, she's going to be there until the 10th of December. The 9th of December is the last day of the 10 days of galactic activation portal, where the energy is opening up and the energy is coming in, the galactic energy is coming in to activate our genetic potential, to help to clear any energies that are finished in terms of value in our life, and they're moving on to do other things in other places, just moving on as light does. Today is the 7th of December, and is also the 8th day of these galactic activation portals, which began on November 30th. And I'll do a video possibly later on the Mayan calendar, reading from the Mayan calendar. But there were 52 days in every 260-day cycle within the Mayan calendar, which were days that were designated by the prophet Pakal Votan as galactic activation portal days, where there were large amounts of energy that would come in on those days. They always occurred at the same time in the 260-day cycle. So there are two portions of that 260-day cycle where there's 10 straight days of galactic activation portals. This year it occurred October 21st through 30th and November 30th through December 9th. So this is the 8th day. Saturday the 7th is the 8th day of the galactic activation portals. Tomorrow will be Sunday, will be the 9th day of the galactic activation portals. And Monday will be the 10th day. And I believe Monday will be the December 9th, will be the 10th day of the galactic activation portals. This particular exercise today was to help those of you that watch it to work a little easier with these galactic activation energies, because they're very powerful and they can, cause there to be a lot of activity during the dream, in the dream world, as there was for me last night. There's a lot of energy moving up and down the spine currently. A lot of energy releasing in the area of the ears. Typically when the ears, the eustachian tubes, the throat, the lungs, the testes, the ovaries, when those areas are releasing energy, they're typically releasing the energy of grief. There's this golden red energy moving through the body that feels like it's causing a lot of healing to take place and a lot of activation of these cosmic forces that are assisting the human body that we're in to activate and to rise up to these higher vibrational frequencies. And I was mentioning earlier that there's a word in the Mayan language of the Yucatec people that is their word for human being, and that word is Winclil, and that word is defined as divine vibratory root. So we, as human beings in human bodies, are divine vibratory roots. So we are actually acting as a root system for the higher realm to activate our bodily systems and bring this golden light into the core of the earth, thereby activating a healing cycle, a soul level healing cycle with the earth. I imagine that you and I are just two of many who are doing this all around the world right now, because we have cleared an event that we went back to, and all souls affected by that event were invited back to that event to release and integrate the energy of the event for themselves. So there could have been hundreds of thousands of souls that went back to the event. There could have been millions of souls that went back to the event. Potentially could have been billions of souls that went back to the event. But that event is now clear. So now I'm going to say these words. So I ask the interdimensional being, I ask Thoth and Ra, I ask the deep self and the higher self, the highest self, and our soul ray group to assist all the souls that return to the event to combine with that part of their soul that had remained at the event and bring that combined soul back into their body in present time with all of its wisdom, power, clarity, and compassion, and creativity. And I would ask all those souls to ground themselves in the healing center of the earth and open up the portal for the delivery of the new energies into the earth at this time. And I ask that these new energies be brought in now. And a returning power from the earth, rising up. And I let these new energies in the earth and in the sky activate. And I let the universe and beyond know that this has been done and that is good. Thank you for your service to the world healing field, to the world, to the planet in general, to the universe around you, because we are Winclil. We are divine vibratory roots, capable of doing the things that divine vibratory roots are capable of, helping to heal the planet and helping to bring the new energies in that will make it easier for this transition to occur for ourselves and other selves. Okay, thanks for your participation. I'm imagining there'll be another event that we will help resolve tomorrow. I'm guessing that was a rather long video. Thanks for participating, and we'll carry on.